If you remember the Dream SMP, you probably remember the amazing fan art that happened during that time. Like something was in the food of these artists that made these artworks that turned this into this. And it made me wonder, what if I did that with older YouTubers or YouTubers that barely get fan art? So I have a wheel full of names that can possibly be drawn, some old, and some new but underrated. And since it's the first episode of a possible series, I'm gonna go easy and work on 3 that I already know the basics of. But let's get started. So a moose, a frog, and a shark walk into a bar. Let's get this over with. This has already taken me too long to get to this point. This probably looks awful. And you'd be right, because this looks awful. I'm sorry. This is what I have to work with right now. We just gotta deal with it until I get something that's better than this. I did speed up the footage just a quite little bit, just so it would go a little bit faster. The original recording was 10 minutes, which isn't a lot, but it's just so we could get this over with quickly. So the basic idea for him was to just make him as close to his skin as possible, but not like have him be like a full human-sized frog with a open, gapingly wide mouth, because that would be horrifying. Can you imagine that? But anyways, I also, because you've seen the eyes on his skin, they're mostly going in different directions, so I thought it'd be interesting to give him some form of crossed eyes, more specifically exo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so I apologize for that. Since you can't really see his face at all, this is what he would look like without his hood on. I also wanted to give him a wooden prosthetic arm, because if you've been a fan long enough, you've seen that Cake by the Ocean, or the farming music video, both of them, and you know he has a wooden arm now. So I wanted to draw him with that, which you can't really see, which kind of sucks, because since I have my hand on the sketchbook, I guess it kind of not focuses on that, and I might be too high up. So I'll probably fix that in the next video, if I even want to do a video after this, because this might be the last video, because look at this. Like, what am I doing here? But I'll show you a picture of the arm so you can get an idea what I'm going for. Maybe it could still be made out of oak, but nowadays, if I were to put him in a setting, or if he was in a server, I think maybe he'd live in a swamp like a frog, and it'd be made out of the red swamp wood. I wrote down that he probably carved it himself, and it's like one of his proudest things he could make, because I imagine he was pretty crushed over losing his arm. I mean, obviously anyone would. So this gave him like a little bit of hope, and I'm basically writing my own story at this point, but you know, that's basically what I do. But anyways, it would simply be like a harness. It would be easy to take off and on, and not too heavy, and overall he'd probably make it comfortable to his liking. But also, I imagine it'd be like, if he got hit by it, it would hurt. Like, he'd take off his arm like mid-fight and whack you with it. Another small thing about it is I think the fingers on the hand would be like sticky, like a sticky piston, so he could still like stick to walls like evenly. And if he did a prank on someone, he can just stick to the ceiling and avoid getting in trouble. So for clothing, I decided to give him a hoodie. It's more of a jacket. His skin eyes would be on the top of the hood with the wonky eyes, and there'd be like a tongue on the front of it. It would obscure his face, and like whatever is outlining the mouth part of his skin, where it's like slightly red, it would be like backpack straps. And I guess some of the red would be outlining the hood of the mouth, and the gradient in like the middle of his mouth would be in the middle of his jacket, just as a plain gradient. Then like the white part at the end of his sleeved skin would be like the cuffs, also back on the eyes for like a second. I feel like they'd be like stuffed with some cotton, like they'd be like little plushies. I imagine that he sewed his own jacket as like another project he could do to keep himself busy and not cause havoc to others, which, you know, probably didn't help. And like the orange part of his skin at the bottom of his like arms could be like optional gloves if he wanted to wear gloves. I don't know why he would, but he has like the option. I think I did good for the idea of the jacket, and I'm low-key kind of proud that I came up with it, so like I'll give myself like a thumbs up for that. And for the rest of his clothes, I just gave him some shorts and nothing else, because I don't think he'd be like the type of person to wear shoes or socks, because he's just weird like that. I mean, if you watch the guy, he's kind of weird, but like in a funny way, you know. Like, no offense, because like I got most of my humor from him, and like the reason why I say flip is because of him, so like I got him to blame for that. So now I'm just finishing up the details, like cleaning up my underline sketch to make it look cleaner. I don't know what else to say, so I'll just say some other things. I think his biggest enemy in this world, in like a Minecraft world, would be ASFW. Like, that dude would rot in his brain, and he would lay awake at night hearing that sound the dude would make. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you stay around. I promise I'll post the colored and lined version on like a community post and my Tumblr. I know I said something about a moose and a shark in this video, and I wanted to get them both done, but after this I wanted to try to get my setup better so it can look better for you guys and more appealing and, you know, watchable. But I hope you enjoyed and have a great day, and stick around for when the next video comes out. Bye!